My name is C.A. Vishal Thakkar, and I'm going to be your representative for the stage today, the Sutradhar of this event, and I'm on your side. It is said that Sutradhar conducts the events, and as audience, we see from his eyes, we hear from his ears, and we follow the line of thought that processes in his brain. So I am lending all the three out to you, and we'll have this wonderful journey here today. Welcome to SMX CSR Summit. Let's give audience a huge round of applause, please. The environment today here is very surreal. In our last event, we were at the epitome of capital markets, which in our scriptures is said earth. Today, we are at the epitome of spiritual heaven. And rightly so, in our scriptures, it's called dharma. So welcome to this Dharma Sthan, and let's start this event by inviting the only living God in this Kali Yuga. Any guesses? Which is the only living God in this Kali Yuga, which we can see, which we can... Shri? The only living God of this Yuga. No guesses? Gurudev is guiding us towards the God. So Guru Govind dono khade kaake lagu pai. So Gurudev is Gurudev. But the living God in this Kali Yuga is a lamp. Diya. So a lamp does not speak like us, but it bears witness to the testimony of all the good and other deeds carried out by us mere mortals. So may we start the lamp lighting ceremony. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Rahul Jain, Mr. Gopal Krishnan Ramachandran, Mr. Prasanna Prabhu, Mr. Pratyush Panda, Dr. Sandeep Pachpande, Aditya Pachpande, Ankush Deshpande, Ketan Deshpande, and Mr. Hemant Kapse to do the lamp lighting ceremony, and Mr. Giri Balasubramaniam. It is customary in our culture to have the lead host of this event and our group of companies to come and give welcome address to our dignitaries, speakers, delegates, and guests. So may I invite our dear Managing Director of InnoServe Group, Mr. Rahul Jain, to give an inaugural address as a lead host. Welcome, Rahul, to the stage.
It is with a heart full of anticipation and spirit buoyed by optimism that I welcome you all to this beacon of hope and progress, the SMX CSR Summit 3.0. As we gather under the vast canopy of our shared aspirations, we are here to chart new territories in corporate social responsibility, to delve deeper into the essence of sustainable development and to forge an undeniable mark on the tapestry of a global community. Today, we stand on the precipice of change, where every idea shared and every partnership forged can catalyze transformative shifts across industries and societies. In the Grand Assembly, we are immensely privileged to host a figure of monumental influence and universal respect, Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji. His enduring commitment to global peace, wellness, and humanitarian causes resonates profoundly for a harmonious existence, and his tireless efforts in uplifting communities worldwide provide a guiding light for our discussions and initiatives. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. This ancient wisdom encapsulates the essence of Gurudev's message of global peace, compassion, and harmony, guiding us as we explore the depth of corporate social responsibility. As we navigate through this day, let us imbue our dialogues and the wisdom of compassion, the strength of collaboration, and the courage of innovation. Let each session not only be a forum of exchange, but also a crucible for forging actionable commitments towards a sustainable and inclusive future. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukhbhag bhavet. May all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, and may no one suffer. This prayer reminds us of a collective responsibility to ensure well-being for all, laying the foundation for our discussions today. Beyond the confines of this summit lies the vast expanse of our collective impact, communities transformed, ecosystems preserved, and lives uplifted. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. The world is one family, the vision of global harmony and interconnectedness is what we strive for in our CSR efforts, aiming to foster a unified approach to solving the world's challenges. With Gurudev's blessing and our united resolve, let us embark on this journey not as mere participants, but as architects of a new paradigm. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, seeing oneself in all beings and all beings in oneself. This principle inspires us to embrace empathy and understanding in our mission to create a sustainable and inclusive future. In closing, I extend my deepest gratitude to Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji for gracing this summit with his presence, to all our esteemed speakers for their invaluable contributions, and to you, our delegates, for your unwavering commitment to the cause of CSR. Together, let's pave the way for a legacy of impact, innovation, and inspiration. Welcome to the SMX CSR Summit 3.0, a symphony of minds and hearts dedicated to reimagining the future of corporate social responsibility. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my dear friend Rahul, for that warm, very warm welcome. Next up, we have a special address by our dear chairman, Mr. Gopal Krishnan Ramachandran, who is known to be a great orator, a smart strategist, somebody who can bring order amidst chaos, an appropriate Sarthi for InnoServe Group. Without much ado, I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Gopal Krishnan Ramachandran.
Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's a special privilege to be addressing a gathering in such an august surrounding. And one is only reminded of the fact that we are talking about CSR in a place which is known to have initiated the movement for CSR. I guess before CSR became a norm in the country, the art of living had become the epitome of CSR, having taken it to great heights even before legislation came into being. They've always been ahead of time. I'm thankful to Prasanna for having given us the opportunity to hold the CSR Summit. And Prasanna, there could have been no better place than this to host a summit as we go on with our journey from city to city throughout the length and breadth of the country to pursue the cause of CSR. In my last addresses, I have been speaking about the pillars of CSR, maybe philanthropy, maybe it's got to do with the financial discipline, it's got to do with environmental responsibility, it has got to do with ethical responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, today, allow me to tell you a small story. It'll not take too much time. Recently, in the cold Delhi winters, when the chill is surrounding you, I was traveling in a BMW 7 Series, keeping myself warm. And the car stopped at a red light. A girl child and her mother, barely covered, tapped at the window. And they were pleading for something to make them warm. I was moved. And how? I couldn't imagine myself bearing this chilly winter. And coincidentally, I was going to a function where I was supposed to be the keynote speaker and the guest of honor in the field of entrepreneurship, and hoping to find future leaders in the country. And I have always related one thing with CSR, that we need to create social entrepreneurs. Having this thought in mind, when I saw the girl child and the mother pleading for help in the form of a warm clothing, my heart moved. And for a minute I thought, am I capable of doing something? Am I here to do something? Can I do something at this point of time in the car? Impulse can get the better of you, but will it be sustainable? Will it help anybody? In the process, unknowingly, a tear trickled down my face. Otherwise, normally a composed person that I am. I felt that yes, the nation is moving forward, a lot needs to be done, something has been done, something more needs to be done, and are we in the right direction? I entered the venue, and there were entrepreneurs who were young entrepreneurs, first-time entrepreneurs who were presenting their ideas to me. Call it serendipity, call it a coincidence, call it a happy coexistence. One of the young entrepreneurs, just freshly passed out of college, was presenting a case on billboard shelters. And she was wanting to be a social entrepreneur. And what was she wanting to do? The billboard shelters was supposed to be making money in the morning, branded profits in the morning, sheltered nights for the homeless. I felt it was such a sheer coincidence that I am coming across a person who's presenting this my heart gladdened. I felt, yes, India is moving. The young people are on the move. We don't have to feel so bad. And when I was talking about the revenue model, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, the revenue model was not something which was supposed to be based on charity or donation. It was something where it was very clear that we will have shelters which are branded. Corporates can contribute to this. The only thing that was being raised was, can CSR regulations and can the conglomerates start thinking in terms of looking at startups which are social entrepreneurs, and the social entrepreneurs who take it to the next level of ensuring that the country progresses. The people, the underprivileged, get beyond the poverty line. Can it be that social entrepreneurs and CSR can be married? And the answer that came out in no uncertain terms was a categorical yes. What it meant in very simple terms is CSR is beyond legality, beyond just empty words, beyond just saying that we have to do it because it's mandatory. CSR is now more or less a movement. And to my mind, if I were to put it in very simple words, I feel that we need to ensure that the social entrepreneurs are created, NGOs are doing their work, but CSR needs to direct itself towards an area where it becomes a self-sustaining business model, viable, economically viable, sustainable, scalable. It can have geography and reach, and above all, compassion and emotion to ensure that profits meet mankind's requirement and profit takes care of the kindness that is be given to the underprivileged. And we marry the two and ensure that when CSR comes, social entrepreneurship rises, and in the process, we create a great movement, hence a great nation. And to my mind, what I felt was, these are the youngsters who are going to take it forward. And the only thought that came to me while I was sitting and reflecting on this model of the billboard shelter, while I said yes to them and I said, I'll be there to help you in whatever way you want, the only thing that came to my mind very clearly was, we don't have to lose heart. There is hope. There is a future. And to my mind, India is still very young. The youth of India, the cornerstone of this country, the demographics provide us this dividend, are going to be leading us to a future. I see a change in the mindset of Generation Z, who are saying that let's enable India to become a stronger India. CSR and social entrepreneurship. It's a war cry. The only thing that comes to my mind is, can we say, I will do it? And finally, can we go ahead and say, just do it? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, GR sir, for an enlightening, or rather, can I say actionable, branded shelters. Great idea, huh? We would love to hear more from you, sir, at a later stage. Moving on with our next item in the agenda is we have a theme address today, and that's something very different. And before I invite my favorite dignitary to come on stage and give the theme address, he has sent out a message that the father of CSR, who was supposed to be here, Dr. Bhaskar Chatterjee, he's not able to make it due to a medical exigency. His presence is surely missed. And now, when I came here, I was greeted by such a warm smile, and I was told that I'm always here. And I was very surprised by the choice of word always. And so, all of you must have felt his presence, physically and mentally, as well as spiritually. May I now call upon Prasanna Prabhuji to give the theme address of this event. Mind you, he is not just the chairman of Art of Living, but he has now become chairman of the hearts of the CSR communities across the globe. So without much ado, let me hand over the stage to Mr. Prasanna Prabhu.
So welcome to the ashram. 42 years ago when all of this began, it was only rocks and snakes, and many young and old people came, they contributed, and today it is what it is, which you and me are enjoying. So, and that I think is the core of all CSR. It's about giving. You know, it's a law, it's good, but we've made it into a big deal, giving. But that's our nature. It is not something out of our nature. Whenever you do something that is not part of your nature, that's when all the problems begin. Giving is a standard quality that all of us have. Yes or no? You're a father, you're a mother, you're a brother, you're a sister. Giving is something that is inherent to us. So over the last so many years, what we've been doing is Art of Living, of course, but slowly and steadily moving towards inculcating this concept of giving. Because when you give, not only the person who receives benefits, but you also benefit. You become bigger. You feel, having contributed in somebody's life, how do you feel? So it's a complete win-win situation. However, the whole giving concept should not be because I want to feel good. It is because you care. It comes out of compassion, like Sir was mentioning. So what is important is that over the last so many decades, the organization has done some spectacular work. More importantly, even before the CSR law came, there was a lot of activity that was happening, whether it is in the space of water, whether it's in the space of natural farming and agriculture, whether it is in the space of skilling. Because why did this happen? Because we believe in addressing the core, which is the human being. Whether it's CSR, whether it's corporate, whether it's whatever it is that we do, who is doing? It's the individual. And unless we focus on the individual, unless we make the individual the center of the universe, everything else will fall flat. So therefore, the organization that I am the chairman of in the Art of Living is called Vyakti Vikas Kendra. Unless the individual is nurtured and addressed, every other thing is not possible. So can we work with the individual? Can we therefore then use that to make sure that the community also benefits and the nation benefits? So during these few decades, what has happened is that we worked with people. People saw need on the ground. They got inspired. The entire organization works bottom up. We've never had a target that we've said, ki is saal mein ye hona hai. We've never done that. What happens is people from ground say that these are our issues, these are our problems, and that then gets addressed and that gets structured. So therefore today, over the last so many years that we've been working, water has become a core, natural farming is becoming a core, and our core advantage or our resource is our people, our volunteers. What we can do, like for example, if there's a tsunami, all we do is give a call. Gurudev has to say, go, everybody goes. Where you otherwise have such a tough time mobilizing, people reach. Why? Because they are not there to receive, they are there to give. So this whole theme of this, of course, it's 10 years of CSR, but the core that we should focus on is giving, because it is our true nature. It is not alien to us. As a kid, as an adult, as a father, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister, we've always given, right? So that giving needs to be nurtured more. However, in the corporate, of course, it is more about, if you keep on saying, I was just talking to her, like, if you keep saying giving, the corporate may not even, the principal may say, okay, you also go, I'm giving you away. But somewhere in the seed, giving needs to be inculcated. And I think this is what all of us are doing, and that is why we are here. So with these few words, I'm saying this whole day, let's focus on how we can give and how we can give better, more efficiently, more productively, and how we can use collaboration and not have to reinvent the wheel for everything that we have to do. Because a lot of good work is already happening. If you use that as a platform, this as a platform to see what good has happened, how can you use that good in what I'm currently doing, and together we can all grow. I think we have a great story to tell. Yeah? Thank you so much.
I would today take courage and liberty of summarizing what you just said in one line. The one, ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully, the one who gives fragrant flowers, the fragrance always remains on his hands. That's what he was trying to say. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next item in the agenda, we have somebody, in my view, personal view of course, is the strongest pillar of CSR in this country and beyond. This gentleman is so humble and down to earth. Today morning when I was moving around with my bag searching for where is the breakfast, all of us were searching, right? I was also searching. So this gentleman calls me, come here, I will take you to the breakfast. He held my hand, made sure that I had breakfast. Tell me, a person of a stature who has not teams but armies of people around him, and on his one voice, entire battalions can move. This gentleman holds my hand and takes me to the breakfast. Such a touching, personal gesture. Again, taking from what Prabhuji said, that keeping individual at the center. He touched my life personally, and ladies and gentlemen, through me, all of your lives today. May I invite Mr. Pratyush Panda for a special address. He needs no introduction, but I would still remind you that apart from being a magnanimous human being, he is head ESG for L&T Mindtree. Without much ado, sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, respected dignitaries on the dais, we are waiting for Gurudev Sri CSR to arrive here. Such a blissful atmosphere on which we are going to talk about 10 years of journey on CSR. And I was listening to Sir about art of living. I'll not summarize, but what I learn is art of living is nothing but art of giving. So we all need to, thank you. We all need to have this thing very consciously put into our mind. If you are into, whether you call it CSR, NGO, foundation, all those who are working in and around. If you are not giving something out your pocket, up to your hard-earned, probably you are not probably the right suitable candidate for the sector. Start giving that, however small it might be, and keep it as a practice on your daily life. Keep nurturing, as Sir said, people at the center. Keep nurturing people around it. Start with your family, the art of giving. However, again I'm saying, it may be small, but it has to be a daily habitual practice kind of thing to start with. This is how I have learned in the sector. I have grown in the sector. I just cannot forget that I come from a small village of Orissa. My grandfather got displaced because of the Hirakud Dam. Until from 56 to until 2000, me, my father, my grandfather, whole family was homeless and landless. Yet, from that small village to this place, I am standing in front of you just because of this art of giving practice. What my family, my father gave me, he doesn't give me crores of rupees in bank balance. He doesn't give a home, but he gave me the best of the education possible on that day at that small village area. I used to use half pant going to school, और मम्मा पीछे गाटर लगाती थी 3 महीने बाद. Those who know गाटर क्या होता है, so we used to sit in school floor, and that it will turn out after 3-4 months. But I have to carry the same half pant for whole year because that was the capability of my family those days. Today I am personally supporting more than 5,000 students, 2,200 women, and there are 7 employees. This I was doing it for 10 years, but during lockdown I become part of the concept called Living My Promise, wherein anybody who has ready to create a will that 50% of my hard-earned revenue I'll give it to society in my own way. Somebody can create a social entrepreneurship, somebody can create an NGO, somebody can give it to a temple, church, mosque, somewhere, but start giving that. And me, my family, everybody is happy, and we all are part of the same game today. And this is how this journey starts, and you get lot of reflection. I could see when sir was talking, kind of reflection this campus, the ecosystem art of living must be getting. Sincerely, those who are into CSR sector, we are grossly missing out all those vibes, positive vibes, know-how, technical know-how, the innovations is grossly missing with us. We are normally going with those 2% kind of thing. So I was also asked to talk about the 10 years of journey. So I jotted down some reflection this morning, how the 10 years. 2005, I started working with Manager CSR, and 2014, almost 9 years later, the act came. So I'm not going back from 14 to 24. I had to summarize in maybe 3-4 lines. It was started with a compliance, 2% karna hai, 2% karna hai, 2% karna hai. Today, if you are doing 2%, you might be a very big company, MNCs. For the ecosystem, it is just a pass mark. I always say it is like getting 35 out of 100 in exam. It is a compliance. It is statute requirement you are doing. Tell us what beyond 2%. If it's organization or somebody who is doing beyond 10%, people are ready to listen to you, ready to learn and replicate in their own way. So we all need to grow up to that level. Lot of organizations are doing that. It's not like spending only 2.25%, but how innovatively, how inclusive this is to the whole of the world. Am I doing only on the cities? Or I'm also doing for the underprivileged, those are far away from my headquarters. One more thing I have realized from 2014 to 2024 is, initially the sector started with piecemeal approach. This many schools, this many toilets, this many houses. And slowly the ecosystem has transferred towards an integrated approach of developing a community wherever people have started working. People have started measuring the impact in the right sense by taking the ecosystem support and growing up. So today, I hardly found a good organization talks only on exclusive school education, exclusive scholarships, or exclusive, say, water harvesting structures kind of things. People have started integrating and try to see that the quality of life of that area is integrating. This is one remarkable changes I've seen from piecemeal approach to integrated long-term development and sustainable development approach. One more thing was, initially, again, people started doing a lot of charity. There is a phone call from a senior person from an NGO or government or a minister. People started putting money there without thinking, हाँ sir ने बोला कर लो कुछ तो अच्छा होगा. It was good, a charity mode kind of thing. So from that thing, people now move toward very strategic kind of CSR. If I'm going to a specific area, why I'm going there, what I'm supposed to do that. And this is all being well thought of before the plan being executed or when the MOU is signed. So that is one good thing that has happened in the sector. From purely charity based, without thinking anything, start doing. People are starting a lot before doing anything. What you call charity to strategy kind of move. And one more was, earlier we used to have a lot of traditional approach of doing things. People are not putting money or investing on granting aid, which are having bit of risks. So people do, यार school में इतने desk bench डाल दो, hospital में 10 ICU bed बढ़ा दो during lockdown yet. But now people have started thinking on those lines and also started putting their hard-earned CSR money into innovative approaches also. You will see in last post, especially COVID era to now, you will see a lot of best of the innovations is came out in India just because of CSR sponsorship and because of good new age startup, millennium-based startups, NGOs, social entrepreneurs started coming together and started doing certain things. And within that, it's not always like it is always backed by kind of science. There is a theory of change inbuilt into it. People are thinking on those lines. People today, if you ask them, can you give us, sir, 1 crore rupees for 3 years, we'll do this. People will certainly ask, what is going to solve in the society? How it is going to solve? Is there a theory of change that is backed on your proposal based on some scientific things, or it is just a wild idea of yours? So people are helping you out to create a theory of change based proposal. It's no more proposals are purely traditional proposals that is reaching to us. One good thing is, earlier, I liked these things. When I was also working for INGOs and initial stage, we always think, is the CSR project or this initiative is socially correct? If I'll say yes in my mind, we used to do. Today, we are thinking, am I socially correct? Yes. But at the same time, am I also environmentally right, correct to do that? I'll give you a small example. I myself had supported a lot of women in Jharkhand for lakh bangle making, lip plates making. What we used to do, we used to ask them, go to jungle, plug the leaves, saal ke patte tod ke le aao, and lakh, you know how it collected? From the tree's trunk, they'll cut, put a pot, the gond will get collected, that will convert it to lakh. And by that, this thing used to have very negative impact on the forest of that area. Because if they pluck the leaves, the tree will not grow. So today we are saying, we can be socially correct, but we also have to see we are environmentally correct before you put some money into CSR. So we are today saying, let the women livelihood be there. Let them do this livelihood, but why leaves? Why can't you take waste paper? Cities have enough waste. Take this waste paper and convert them into plates, and this started growing. So everywhere today, all our approaches are moving. We are not only socially correct, we are also trying to be socially and environmentally correct. That are also getting inbuilt. Last but not the least, when CSR started, the sustainability measures in this country got all of us a sudden big jerk, and it stopped. People stopped talking about sustainability. Talking on sustainability on CSR forum was like a scene in 2014, 15, 16, 17 kind of thing. And probably for me, our country has taken a toll on those lines. Today again, if you see the CSR line has started, somehow the sustainability line was also started going parallelly in a slow. But post-COVID era, both the lines started coming closer to it. What I perceive out of my experience, 5 years down the line, both the line will merge together somewhere. It cannot be in isolation today. I cannot do CSR separate and sustainability ESG separate. And if you see in last 2 years, more than CSR word, ESG sustainability word is used in this country. And government has taken a lot of steps on those lines, BRSR, then BRSR core. Now the stock exchanges started talking about those lines. And there are n numbers of rating comings. And there is a Business Hard Review study says, post 2030, 95% of the investment in developing countries will come through ESG processes. It cannot be just if you are earning good, a company may not get best funding. But a company who is equally good on ESG processes will get better investor, better client, better investment. We all has to get ready for that. The bottom line of that is, there might be some of the best of the companies that we have seen in last 20 years might get banished from country like India just because they are profitable, but they are not equally good on sustainability measures, because the investor will go out from their hand, the clients will go out from their hand. We all need to grow up. We all not, especially the CSR fraternity, sustainability, ESG fraternity, we need to teach our senior management on those lines, if they are not that learned enough, to grow up to these standards, requirements, and see that this ecosystem grows up. Finally, I can tell you, believe me, the day it will merge CSR and sustainability, the CSR will not be 2%. It will be certainly beyond 5%. Take it in writing. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.
to pledge 50% of what you have made of your life. First, to make a decision to give. Second, making sure that it is impactful enough that you are remembered even after you leave this planet. If we take a moment to deeply analyze what Sir just said, we all, when we come on this planet, we come with nothing in our hand. And when we all leave, we take nothing together, right? So the question is, what happens to the bank balance that we have, the property that we have, the day we are leaving this planet? Now, this question is not to me, this question is to all of us, to introspect. Someone told me that that's the extra work that you did, Vishal. ज़रूरत नहीं था, तुम ज़्यादा कर लिया. Can that ज़्यादा benefit that section of the society which needs it the most? Because wealth is changing its definition. And when we see that the pillars of support like Panda sir is available, किसी एक का भी ऐसा दीपक जल जाएगा ना, get in touch with him. He will help you to be a part of that ecosystem where you can contribute not just money, but your thought leadership, your actions, your dent in the universe, the change that you want to bring to the society. The complaint that you always do, अरे traffic बहुत है, खड्डे बहुत है, भीड़ बहुत है. What are we going to do about it? You have any ideas, solutions? We have the CSR and the ESG platform and the pillars of support like the dignitaries on the stage to put your thoughts into motion, to put your resources into motion. And trust me, it comes back to you multifold times. It's just a matter of waking up. Like how your alarm clock wakes you up every morning? Yes or no? What do you do when the alarm clock rings? What do you do? I hit the snooze button. Hey, yaar, I want to sleep. Shut it down. At least 3-4 times, no? Yes or no? No. Some of us are very early risers. 5 बजे उठ जाते हैं. But most of us are like me. I am like you guys. अरे बंद कर यार, मेरे सोने दे. तो रात को लेट आया मैं. Yeah? So, now we have reached to a point where the main item of the agenda has come. Any guesses what is the main item of the agenda today? Are you joking, Vishal? Yeah, the main item of the agenda today is that all of us are privileged to have Gurudev coming. My only request is, please remain seated wherever you are and please open all your faculties, eyes, ears, and all your senses, because we are soon expecting a multi-sensory experience. And we today are a fraction percentage of privileged people of the 180 countries. You saw the video in the morning, right? In Delhi, they had 7 acres of stage. What is a 7-acre stage? तो event का area कितना बड़ा होगा? Stage 7 acre का है तो. I was flabbergasted. Participants from 155 countries. That happened in Delhi, and after that, in 2023, I am told in Washington, D.C., 180 countries. Prabhuji, please forgive me if my figures are inaccurate. Yeah. And imagine me and you being a participant of that grand event. We are so small in that whole macrocosm, no? But friends, we are not there. We are here today. And we are so privileged. We are just handful of people here, and we are going to have a personal presence, a discourse from a divine personality. Somebody who teaches art of living. How many of you, let's have a show of hand, how many of you have witnessed or done a Sudarshan Kriya ever in your life? Please, let's have a show of hands, please. Oh, quite a lot, quite a lot. See, for those of you who have done, you now know why you are graced and attracted to be here in His presence today. For those of you who are yet to do, trust me, you guys are the chosen ones. You know why? Because you took the path of CSR. You had that light in your heart that I want to do something, I want to give something. And when the door of that heart opens, no, only at that time, you start attracting divinity in your life. And trust me, I am a chartered accountant. I am not a spiritual person. I am normal people like you. But I have experienced. I have experienced in my heart. I have learned in last 2 years that silence is so precious. And what I am sharing with you while Gurudev is on his way is this fact of life. That the moment you go silent, the moment you start Sudarshan Kriya, you will feel the divinity inside you manifesting. Because all of us are a part of the same being. But that part is somewhere inside, sleeping, buried. And all our other thoughts, rule our life every day. Mujhe jana hai, I have to earn money, I have to raise a family, so on and so forth. But the day you start going inside, that spark slowly becomes a lamp. And then you attract yourself to places, to situations, which lead you to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a huge round of applause for being so lucky that you have His manifested presence here today to talk to us.
The divinity and all that is good, but if you look at humanly, what Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji has done over the last 42 years of the organization and whatever, it is remarkable. It is unfathomable. It's such a tough thing to just communicate with just a wife and 2 children. 3.5 people, we cannot communicate and express our heart. And here is a guy who's been traveling the length and breadth of the country. We are present in 180 countries. 180 countries. And most of these places, by the way, don't even understand the Hindis and the Englishes of the world. So communication, again, this is a huge, a lesson in communication. Because communication doesn't happen through words. We use words to express ourselves, but what is it that you catch? So when our man speaks here, what is it that you catch? See the way he was so fluid and so easy. He was so thera na bhai, which is what people catch, not the words. But if you say beautiful words, but you're like this all the time, people will catch that, not so much the words. So to go beyond words is communication. With your presence, the minute somebody walks up on stage or walks in front of you, you get a feel, you get a presence. This presence is very important when we work on ground. We go and work with farmers. We go and work with the last rung of society. What do you think attracts them? Just some money. A lot of people come and give money. But that connection that happens. So now he or she feels that I am part of him. Our team is part of them. Trust gets built. The minute trust happens, then it is a matter of whatever it is that you want to put through that conduit of trust. So creating that trust, creating that the connection, I think is the core. And that is what we do through our various different programs. So when people do these programs, what happens? They get a sense of, ye apne hai. That apnapan allows you to do so much more. A lot of the times, acha, why does government, see, government does a lot more than all of us put together. I don't know how many times more. But a lot of their schemes don't necessarily reach. Why? There is no connection. It is, and by the way, when those government people go, oh, you're not doing me a favor, ye to tumhara kaam hai. But when organizations like ours or people go, what happens? They suddenly feel the connection and then they cooperate. They become part of our team. And that's where sustainability comes. So there is long ago, I remember one team of people came and in Maharashtra, from the interiors of Maharashtra, you know what they've done there? They have a shop without a shopkeeper. So whoever comes there puts the money, takes what he wants. And that money that is there is taken and replenished with whatever. A shopkeeper, shop without a shop. Huh?
Raja is running there?
In a way. What is Ram Raja? We can call it what we use. Let's not get stuck with words. Because the minute I say Ram, somebody will say something else. What is the main thing? Ability to connect, the ability to feel oneness, the ability to feel, ye sab mere hain. You're not doing them a favor. We are doing it because we care. That care and compassion is the core of what we do as an organization of the art of living and most other NGOs. I mean, the way I see it, unless that connection is there, no delivery can happen. And sustainability depends on that connectivity. Otherwise, what will happen? It becomes a routine. Jao, ye de do, wo de do. In fact, many, many years ago, I was in the United Nations and we were having a chat. And they say a lot of the kya bolte hain, food, clothes, medicines reach. But I said, but the core is the mind.
Highest honor from Pune. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to utter a few words when Gurudev is around. I'm deeply, deeply honored. Can't express myself, but I'll still say two lines. I've been rehearsing this Gurudev for a long time, so allow me. There are spiritual gurus who guide us towards God, like a lighthouse in choppy waters of our life when it is dark in the night. But the rarest of rare guru is not like a lighthouse. He's like a bright, shining sun. Have you seen that sun in the logo of Art of Living? Yeah? That's Gurudev for us, closest to our heart. And trust me, Gurudev, I used to wear a t-shirt which says, Apna time aayega. Today, I am proudly saying, on behalf of all my lovely audience here, is that the teacher appears only when the student is ready. So Gurudev, hamara time ab aa gaya. Gurudev is fond of kids, is what I am told. So before he speaks, I would want Gurudev 2 minutes from a little boy who wants to say something to you, just for 2 minutes. May I invite Aditya Pachpande on stage to speak his mind, a child prodigy who has spoken at Harvard, Stanford, and so many Ivy Leagues. Today, he speaks at a bigger platform. Over to you, Aditya.
Thank you. Jai Gurudev. Namaste, Shri Ravi Shankar ji. My mentor Gopal Ramkrishnan, my father Sandeep Pachpande, Rahul Jain, and all of the delegates and everyone who is present here. As co-founder of NextGen Innovate, it is my honor to invite you to this summit today. Today is a milestone where we have completed almost 10 years, almost a decade worth of excellence in CSR in India, progressing with compassion and responsibility throughout. I vividly remember coming to this ashram exactly 4 years ago when I was 13 years old, where I got introduced to Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Guruji's grace. And I remember showing my business plan, my vision, mission, everything to them. And it is because of them, with their grace, which is why everything we do here at NextGen Innovate, everything we do has a social emphasis. Everything we do is connected to innovation and social entrepreneurship. And be it any activity, be it the event today, the courses, or any other activity that we do, I have always believed in Mahatma Gandhi's quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And I cannot start this event without mentioning Mr. Dev Varyani, whose innumerable support and guidance led me to this ashram and also inspired me to drive social change throughout, do everything with a social emphasis. And that's why NextGen innovates all of the values, and this entire company is built upon the principles of Gurudev's vision and his principles. You know, they say a guru's grace is enough to get many people, to get youngsters, be it anyone, to the spiritual path of truth and righteousness. And we will continue to inspire more youngsters, not only of this nation, but of the entire world, to join the spiritual path and lead a life of happiness. I once again would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you, to all of the dignitaries, and to all of the delegates here. Thank you so much, and let's look forward to a day full of love, insight, and compassion. Thank you so much.
And now we are waiting. We would humbly request with folded hands, sir. Gurudev, please enlighten us.
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानेकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। People with the right attitude and right mind, when they come together, there is nothing that you cannot achieve. And I see this community here, this group, this association here is moving in that direction. CSR is a law, no doubt, but it has to be delivered through the heart. I'm very glad to see that young man saying that, look, this is something that touches the heart of people, and it has to be done with passion, not just as a rule of law. You know? And I'm glad that you have all meeting time to discuss in leadership on CSR. I think it's quite a new concept for many in the world. They know CSR, they know leadership. Leadership, usually you think it's only to grow a business and make money. But taking leadership, even in community service, is something that is laudable. It's appreciated, should be appreciated by one and all. Now, you know, some of the biggest social workers in the world, coming from whether Red Cross or Red Crescent or some of these organizations, what I see is they face tremendous burnout. They go with all enthusiasm to do a job, but then they don't have energy to continue. So I was interacting with the president of Red Cross a couple of years back in Geneva. You know what they said? The burnout is so big, and how do you manage in your organization with so many projects and being so successful? And with such small administrative expenses, whereas 50 to 60% administrative expenses is what they are incurring. But here we say it's less than 10%, sometimes 4%, 5%, sometimes 10%, at the maximum 15%. I say where there is a will, there is a way. When people work with their hearts, they can move the mountains. And that's what is happening. The role of spirituality is to bring that energy and help people not to get into the burnout situation. So for this, you need to go within and tap the source of energy that you are. Everyone is endowed with so much enthusiasm, so much energy. To tap that, we need to go within. Few minutes of meditation, some breathing exercise, help us to increase our energy level. And then we can go on and on with the same enthusiasm with which we start any project. Usually people start projects with great enthusiasm, but over a period of time that all dies down, and finally you don't even know where it has led to. But if you are keeping an eye on your own energy level and transforming your lifestyle as well as you are caring for others, then you are in constant source of energy and the flow of energy. And this way we can uplift the whole society. Today, when every 40 seconds one human being is losing his or her life, suicide is happening. And 1/3 of world's population is getting depressed. I think we all have to do so much more than what we are doing. Just giving shelter, food and clothing to people doesn't seem to be enough. You need to give them the lifestyle changes. You need to give them the way that they can handle their own mind. You must have heard in the IISc, Indian Institute of Science, which is the most reputed organization of this country. One day they decided to remove all the ceiling fan from the hostels. You know why? Youth were hanging themselves in the fan. When 6 most brilliant students died of suicide in the hostels, the management thought we will remove all the ceiling fan. I said it's not going to help. There are trees and ropes available outside. This is not the way to stop suicide. You have to teach them how they can handle their own mind. When we give the training to the mind to keep their energy high, you can solve social conflicts and you can make people take responsibility. CSR funds can be utilized to create toilets, but to maintain the toilet and keep it clean and right, the mindset need to be changed in the locality. If that is not done, all our effort goes waste. This is what has happened. One big company, once they created toilets, 50,000 toilets in a particular district in north of Karnataka. But then they came and said, see, we spent 7 crores of rupees. But now today, it's not, people are not maintaining it, not using it. It's being like a garbage dump area. What do we do? Then we took this challenge and we started with 2 villages to begin with and just gave them training. Brought them together in the name of singing and music and satsang. People love to come. The whole village assembles if there is a Gram Devta Puja there. Or if there is a music festival, everybody assembles. So when they all came, then we, little by little, made them understand that they need to take responsibility. They need to repair the broken pipes. They need to, reuse the toilets in their village. In a matter of 4 months' time, the whole place got transformed. So then this similar situation got repeated. We could scale it up. We could bring it to other places. And we need strong volunteers. So I proposed Project Bharat, wherein I said, we need 5 youths in each village who are enthusiastic, who are the movers and shakers, who are the drivers of that village. Unless until people from the ground level participate, none of our project becomes sustainable. So we started this Project Bharat. 5 youths are identified in each village. We trained them. Now what would be here required is to give them some stipends. Usually, zamindars, their children are there and they have land and the lands grow and they don't have much to do because, you don't go to your field every day other than the फसल काटने को होता है उस वक्त जाते हैं, बाकी टाइम तो खाली रहते हैं. किसी का आम का बगीचा है, रोज रोज जाके आम थोड़ी ना तोड़ते हैं. साल में 2 बार 1 बार आता है तो फल, बाकी टाइम उनके पास खाली रहता है और घूमते रहते हैं इधर उधर, कुछ किया भी ना. ऐसे युवाओं को, get those youths, train them to take care of people, make them understand how they can unite different communities and solve conflicts in communities, how they can motivate others to be part of social development programs. So this work is very, very, very important as far as I'm concerned, because I've seen that just money alone cannot make any project successful. You need will along with money. You need the right mindset. And that's what Art of Living has been doing for the last 42 years, creating the right mindset for people to care and share in society and in life. And I'm glad that so many companies have come together, and future is very bright. All the best. All the best to all of you. Pratyush ji and all of you here, and continue the good work you are doing. And of course, Art of Living is with you, shoulder to shoulder, to do and accomplish what is needed by our people, society. Om Shanti Shanti.
Before we give away the award function, I would like to invite Mr. Sandeep Pachpande, Chairman of ASM Group of Institutions, for inaugurating the award function, and a small thank you to Gurudev.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Jai Gurudev. I think today marks a major milestone in the journey of the CSR Summit and the journey of Next Gen Innovate. Because Guruji, it was here 4 years back where we took your blessings and with your encouragement, actually Aditya recognized the fact that age is just a number and it is not a barrier to make change. You can start at any age if you want to do something with your right heart. As Guruji rightly summarized, that when people with the right attitude and mindset come together, we can achieve great things. And this exactly is the reason why we started this CSR summit. The objective is to bring together the NGOs, academicians, education institutions, governments, and spiritual institutions together in a sort of a symbiotic relationship where together we can create an ecosystem, we can nurture everyone to work together and foster social innovation and entrepreneurship. While we do this, we have to understand that we have to work with innovative challenges, and we also have to embrace our ancient cultures. Our objectives now of the company should not have CSR as just a part of something what we do, but imbibe it into everything that we do. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, one world, one family, one future, is something which we have to put into all the aspects and the purpose of our organizations. Today, the youth and even the adults have gone away from the human values and have got engrossed in technology. As Gurudev rightly said, that we have to embrace our ancient culture, and India deserves its place to be the Vishwa Guru, where we can be the leading ones for teaching the right way to live and take everyone on the path of spirituality. It is very important that we all teach our younger generation to become change makers. They have to develop a mindset to contribute not only to the corporates, but to all levels of the society. And they have to do this with, I would say, as Guruji again said it rightly, that, what is required is to look inward, inside, so which is very important. One of the other aspects of this summit is to recognize the work done by various NGOs and corporates so that they can become an inspiration to everyone. We once again thank the Art of Living and Guruji for supporting us in our ventures. Thank you.